So today I am going to be showing you guys what to do after a page has started to lose traffic. Maybe you were ranking high at one point and now you've potentially lost some traffic going through to your website. Or in some cases, you might have even been hit by a algorithm update as well. So I'm going to be breaking down what you should be looking for, how to pinpoint the actual issue, because in some cases it's not just your entire website. It might be like one or two pages that has lost traffic. So we're going to essentially break down why that could be, and we're going to go into detail as to how to recover it as well. Also, very quickly, on the 27th of June, I am hosting a in-person SEO conference called the Masterminders. It's happening in Manchester as well, so if you want, book your tickets, head over to the masterminders.com website. You've got the likes of Craig Campbell talking about flipping websites, so buying a website, doing some work on it and selling it for a higher multiple. We've got Lara Costa talking about generating leads for your actual SEO agency. We've got James Dooley talking about lead generation. We've got Carrie Rose talking about digital PR strategies, and many, many more speakers as well. So grab your tickets while you can. Now, I have done a blog article on my website, which I will link to in the description of this video, where you can check out multiple reasons as to why a website might be impacted from a Google algorithm update. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to just read off of this article. I'm actually going to show you guys how to pinpoint different strategies, right? So there's a website called Mintel.com, and they are a research agency. They do some actually pretty decent blog articles on like different studies and stuff like that they've actually researched. But as you can see, since December, they actually have started to lose a little bit of traffic. So they were ranking for like 15,000 keywords, and now they've kind of went down to like 10,000 keywords. So they've lost a little bit of traffic, and we just want to pinpoint as to why that is and what type of pages that is as well, and also how to like improve those pages and win that traffic back. So what I'm going to do now, you will need Ahrefs for this, by the way. So I'm going to go into organic keywords, and what the first step is, we want to check out which pages have actually lost traffic. Is it pages that are going to be converting traffic into customers for us, or is it like vanity pages, right? So what I'm going to do is, where it says compare with, I'm going to select the date of when they were ranking high. So for example, as we can see here, in November, that was probably the high point. We could even go back to like March of 2024. That was like their ultimate high point in the last like maybe 2 years. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select November first. So we're just going to look at this slight dip, but you could take a look at like March, for example, and see what type of pages that they have lost since. What we're also going to do as well is we're going to set up a couple filters. We're going to take a look at positions, and we're going to select lost and also declined as well. So this will essentially show us the pages that have either lost traffic or declined in traffic. And as you can see here, we have got a load of different pages that have essentially lost traffic. So if we take a look here, what I'm trying to find is some blog articles that we can actually deep dive into. So what country eats the most chocolate, right? That used to be position number 1, and now it is position number 6. So that's a significant drop. Like they've went from a click-worthy page to people probably not even clicking. Like the top 3 spots that gets the most clicks is 1, 2, and 3. So we want to try and figure out as to why that is. So as you can see, this is the actual article that they've written. Fairly detailed article, loads of images. You would think that there's nothing wrong with this article, but let's take a look, right? So what country eats the most chocolate? What we're going to do is we're going to go to Keyword Explorer here. And what we're going to do is we're going to see which pages have actually outcompeted them. So I'm not going to take a look at yahoo.com because that's kind of like an outlier. They're just like an industry name, right? But worldpopulationreview.com, right? These guys rank position number 2. and they don't have that much more content. But one thing that they do have is they do have an interactive map, and I could understand as to why people would prefer this as opposed to just reading a wall of content on this website. So that's one reason why that's one reason that they could potentially turn this data into a interactive map, and it wouldn't be that hard, especially with AI nowadays. You could very easily grab all of the data and research that they've done for which countries eat the most chocolate, literally tell ChatGPT or any AI or LLM model to turn it into an interactive map. This is probably what these guys have done. It's not that hard to recreate this by any means. Let's take a look here. So this is just a wall of content, but they have actually mentioned different types of chocolate as well, and they're mentioning like which country and stuff like that it's most eaten. So I would probably say that they could definitely improve this page from a content point of view. Because all these guys have done is they've just mentioned like American chocolate consumption, German chocolate consumption. So they could definitely make this page or improve this page a little bit more. Another thing that you can also look at is the position history. This is like such a underrated section on Ahrefs. This is still on the Keyword Explorer tab. But this position history, you can actually correlate as to other websites that have been impacted alongside your website. So you can try and find a commonality between other websites. So for example, Food Republic, they've recently dropped from position number 4 down to position number 7, right? What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to either find the commonality of websites going up in rankings or a commonality of websites going down in rankings. So for example, this website here, it's consistently been like position 3 and 4. So that's like that just tells me that the content on this website probably has got decent value. And this is the website that we were looking at before with the interactive map, right? So this is something that I would look to keep, because Google's telling you, or Ahrefs is telling you, that Google's actually preferring this website. Yahoo, that's kind of come out of nowhere type thing. So let's just take a look at the content on this. I'm going to assume this is going to be like not great content, so it's not a strategy that I would definitely follow. As you can see, it's just promoting a chocolate brand called Chow Hound, I believe that's, or actually is that a press release? That seems to be like a press release, so I wouldn't recommend copying what Yahoo have done. Let's take a look at these guys. So the takeout, they've kind of just come in out of nowhere as well within the past the past couple days actually. This was on the 14th. They've just started ranking out of nowhere. This is the page that was talking about like the top 10 chocolate bars for different countries. So again, that page there is kind of telling me like, okay, people might consider, or people might be searching for that keyword, the top, or what country eats the most chocolate, but they might also want to know which type of chocolate is consumed in those countries as well. So that might be a progressive optimization that I would look to include on my website. Like if I was to just search some of these chocolate brands, for example, Cadbury. So there's not a single mention of Cadbury on this page. So I would look to actually include Cadbury as like a subtitle, for example. Let's take a look and see. Food Republic. They've kind of always been about 4/7. Let's see here. Statista. They've always kind of consistently been. They're actually. Do you know what? They're slowly going back up. They were position 16, 1st of November, but Google has preferred their website in the December update. So they have actually jumped up. And let's see what type of page this is. Do you know what? This page probably doesn't deserve to rank as high as it should do, because it's kind of like a page locked or a price locked page. So again, I probably wouldn't look to check that site out. This website has gone down. So there's a lot of websites, or there's a lot of web pages that have gone down lately. So I would look to see if there's a consistency between these websites. Like, for example, these two websites, February 2024, they were ranking position 5 and 10. Now they're ranking position 7 and 9. So try and find a consistency of like these websites. This website, for example, it was ranking position 4 and now it's ranking position 10. So what I would be looking at is seeing if there is a commonality. Like, okay, the reason why this website probably isn't ranking as well is because they've tried to get people to click onto as many different pages. So this is just telling me straight off the bat that Google just doesn't prefer this type of page at all. So I would ignore that type of web page. I would keep it as being like a blog post, but maybe with an interactive map. That's what I would be looking at doing. Let's take a look here. What's this? Is this an interactive map? No, it's not. It's a video. Yeah, the content on this web page completely sucks. Another thing that you can also do as well is you can also run your content through an SEO optimization tool as well. So what I'll do is I'll pause the video for just a second. I'll log into Phrase and we'll see what we score on a SEO basis. So all we're going to do here is we are going to paste in our keyword, what chocolate or what country eats the most chocolate. I'm going to click on create document, and this tool will basically give us a SEO score of what we should be trying to aim for. And we can very easily as well copy our content from this page as well. And it will basically, it's kind of like Surfer SEO, it'll tell us the score on the right hand side, and we can basically make any adjustments based off of like FAQ questions people are asking. People also ask questions, and keywords and entities that should be on the page that also aren't on the page. So as you can see here, the content has come back. It is giving us a score of 24%, which is actually higher than average, but we actually are missing some fairly prominent keywords like milk chocolate should be on the page, and we don't have it on the page. Pounds of chocolate, so the actual weight, that's pretty important, especially if you're like in America. I know that in the UK we use the metric system, but in America they obviously use pounds. I prefer kilograms, I don't know why, but that's one thing that we should definitely be taking into consideration. Consortium per capita is also another pretty prominent keywords. Like 4 sources have used that we don't actually have. Let's see if there's any questions that we should also have as well. Questions. So which country consumes the second most amount of chocolate every year? Which country has the most popular chocolate? What are the biggest consumers of chocolate, or who are the biggest consumers of chocolate, sorry. Which country eats the most chocolate per capita? So all of these questions we should probably actually have on our page, but we don't. Let's see. These are the top 4 questions that it's telling us to actually include. So which countries consume the most chocolate? Which country eats the least chocolate as well? That's probably actually a pretty important question to actually have on the page. Which country is famous for chocolate? Which country eats the most candy in the world as well? So that is another way that you could also improve the page. Another thing that you should also be taking into consideration, and I know that this isn't viable for every single company or business watching this video, but you could also include videos on your web page, and that will increase time spent on the actual page, and it will also help when it comes to rankings as well. Another thing that you can also do as well, which I won't get into in this video because it's probably more so separate, like I could create a separate video for this, but doing an actual audit on your website and making certain that you're internally linking enough to this page. There's so many websites nowadays where all they do is they just mass generate blogs, but they don't actually do any internal linking and stuff. Like if I take a look at this page here, they've got one internal link to, actually, do you know what? They're not doing a terrible job when it comes to internal linking, but making certain that this blog post has other web pages or other blog articles internally linking to it. That's really important, and it could definitely mess up your SEO if you're not doing a correct internal linking strategy. So that's been my video on why websites derank and lose traffic. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like. If, like what I said at the start of the video, if you want to level up your SEO knowledge, head over to themasterminders.com, get your tickets while you can. Otherwise, if you want to work with me or with my team, head over to casualdash.com and fill in the contact form. Thanks for watching.